Welcome to Gamespace Weekly. Whether you've spent this weekend dredging the bowels of hell or visiting the neighbours in Animal Crossing, because let's face it, none of us are getting outside, we're here to bring you the news that you might have missed from Gamespace Weekly. Kicking off the news this week, the Nintendo Indie Showcase. At the start of the week, Nintendo followed its standard direct-to-consumer presentation with an Indie Showcase. It featured a number of games that will come in this year in 2020, including Exit the Gungeon, Cyanide and Happiness, and the gorgeous The Last Campfire from Hello Games. That's right, the same team that eventually made No Man's Sky a guaranteed purchase for console and PC are now bringing us a new indie game, and it's coming to the Switch. The Switch generally has been a haven for indie games with a glut of other major publishers and troubling times on other platforms. However, if you want to find out everything that's coming in 2020 for the Nintendo Switch, certainly at least in this showcase, head over to Gamespace and check out the video you'll see playing here right now. Next up, earlier in the week, EverQuest turned 21. That's right, the MMORPG can legally drink in the US. Originally launched in 1999, one of the oldest MMORPGs is now facing one of its biggest anniversaries. Thankfully, and as you'd expect, the current developers of the game have gone ahead and released a ton of new information for the celebrations. These include new server details and even a couple of player-designed dungeons. Now, I'm not going to spoil the surprise or the celebrations for anyone that plays EverQuest, but if you are still interested in this old-school MMORPG, then head over to Gamespace and check out the details about this celebration now. Midway through the week, we got some interesting news from Sony about the upcoming PlayStation 5 console. Now, while there's been some specifications that have dropped for the Xbox earlier in the week, PlayStation 5 gave us a lot more detail about everything that's coming for this. Everything from the architecture in the box through how they design sound. It's all thanks, well, somehow, to the coronavirus. This presentation was originally going to be a GDC talk, so rather than a consumer flashy showcase, this is more of a deep dive. Presented by PlayStation 5's lead architect, this takes players and the rest of the press through everything we can expect under the hood with PlayStation and reveals some really interesting design concepts for Sony's upcoming console. Check out the full presentation over at gamespace.com and keep an eye on it for more news. Any of you that do watch Gamespace for news during the week might have noticed a tiny blip. Unfortunately, the site went down and obviously that was big news for us. Thanks to a technical difficulty, and nothing that you need to worry about, nothing security related, just we got some gremlins in the works. We managed to flush those out of the system and we're back online and trying to catch up with all the news that has been going on in the past week. Thankfully, going forward, that means that next week you can expect a ton more reviews, news and game updates from Gamespace.com. So head over to the site and check out what we got coming next week. But for now, let's head over to the reviews. First up, and probably our biggest review this week, was The Division 2 Warlords in New York. This expansion for the Ubisoft FPS, massively MMORPG style game, takes players almost full circle to where The Division originally kicked off. It has a ton of new updates, a new narrative story as you would fully expect from the game, and a lot of quality of life updates that you again would fully expect. We had a preview of this prior to it coming out and we've now got our full review online. If you want to find out whether we think it's worth you jumping back into The Division 2, what with the base game being cheap as chips these days, then go ahead and head over to gamespace.com and enter the dark zone once again. Next up, Wargroove. Now, admittedly, Wargroove has been out for a while, however, this top-down retro strategy game, it's had a major update recently and we thought it was high due, it was our turn to take on this strategy title. Featuring obviously, retro pixel art graphics, a massive open world and tons of adventures to go on, we sent our intrepid adventurers out into the world to take on this title. If you want to find out if we think it's worth playing on PC, Xbox, PlayStation 4 or Switch, then head over to gamespace.com and check out the numbers on this particular game. Next up, hardware. And we got one big piece of hardware for you this week, and it's a keyboard. Now, the keyboard market is massive. It's completely saturated, full of lots of systems that are trying to stand out. Thankfully, the HyperX Alloy keyboard that we're reviewing this week, it really does stand out. It features for the first time HyperX's Aqua key switches, as well as a number of other features that frankly are almost a page long in our review. Head over to Gamespace and check out if the HyperX Alloy really does stand out and stand up to the apparent 80 million key presses. Admittedly, I would like to send Chris off to do 80 million key presses, but we figured you want to review this here. So it's up, head over, check it out and see if it's worth picking up. Okay. 3, 2, 1. That's it from Gamespace Weekly, although I feel like I'm missing something. Oh yeah, Doom and Animal Crossing came out. I mean, there's not much more to say about it other than that. We're currently gutting our way through hell, and again, trying to harvest pears. I don't know what the pear hate is about in Animal Crossing, but still. We'll have our reviews up shortly for both of these titles, so keep an eye on Gamespace.com to find out which one is right for you. Thanks a lot for watching. See you next week at Gamespace Weekly.